my talking things into not talking things into existence, but like using this as um a soundboard, like something um to say my things that I don't really have somebody I want to 100% talk about with, and just see if once because a couple of times when I've said stuff that I've been like, hey, is this uh smart or not? I've said it out loud and I've been like, no, you're being an idiot, kind of thing. Just sort of get it out into the world. Anyway, but before we do that, quick show of what we're going to be doing today. This is the display. You see how I have gotten a couple of the hard mode ones. Grenade launcher, sniper rifle, shotgun, pistol, katana, akimbo, pulse rifle, lever action, hand cannon, knife. I want to get. This is sort of like a personal challenge I've given myself. I want to get Scythe Expert and Greatsword Expert. Oh, sorry, Twin Katana Expert and Greatsword Expert today. Maybe Burst Rifle if I can. And I wouldn't mind Scythe, but I'm really not as good on my Scythe. And so my plan is to just play a bit of this. It's getting a 1.0 update, which 1.0 update. It's getting released for 1.0. Um, I'm not 100% sure what it's adding. But when I was looking at what they were doing in the trailer, I was like, that is stuff that looks really interesting. And so I'm interested to see what they'll do. I'm gonna try Twin Katanas first because they are a bit more my speed. I've found recently that I think the way I do stuff is a lot of fast small attacks I'm pretty confident in dealing with, and when it gets to the single target very powerful attacks, I think I start failing on the harder difficulties. So that's what we're going to start with on hard. I've been trying a bit of Nightmare, and it's not that bad until you start dealing with anything that shoots lasers and you realize that your damage is not there. Forgot that they upgraded the animation for that. It looks notably better now. Although he does kind of swing them like he's never used a sword before. But then again, I don't know how you'd properly do it, and I don't think there is a dual same length katanas in real life, so, can I really get at them for it? Ricochet shots. How does that work with melee damage? It increases the width. You see, this is the thing. Ricochet, shatter, and... Because you've got those three things. You've got Ricochet, you've got Shatter, and you've got... There's another one. I always forget. It's Ricochet, Shatter, and there's one other sort of like crowd control thing that with bullets are obvious, but without bullets, I'm not really sure what you do. But I'll keep it on there. I'll go with a Singularity because I very rarely pick Singularity. My thinking is this. I'm never getting this. This is never happening. If I'm at the point where my attacks are hitting outside of my seeing range, something's gone wrong. Because that means my circle is so freaking small. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Back to what I was sort of wanting to sound off on. This feels actually quite good. Sound off on today. So, I had my birthday yesterday, as I've. It's pretty obvious on the title and everything that I've posted and everything. It is probably one of the weirder birthdays I've had. Not because of what I was doing, because what I was doing was perfectly normal. It's because of like what it made me realize. I think I've realized now that I'm at that point in my life where birthdays have kind of lost every form of like in like specialness. And I'm sure that there'll be people that go on about how like no, you can make it special even when you're like this. Um, it's just a mindset kind of thing. But what I sort of mean is, you have this sort of bit in obviously normally I'm not gonna say normal families. That's wrong. But in families that in my experience is when you're young, when you're in your your sorry, I'm not great at talking today, but when you're sort of like phone revision's never happening. When you're young, it's a whole story of like everything that you would every year is unique, and you have your grandparents and stuff giving you stuff, and they are active, and they can because of all of this, you have like a comprehensive like lot of people that you will give you stuff. Even if you're not particularly friends with somebody at school, there's a good chance they'll get you like a chocolate or something just to show that they are doing something, you know? And I've realized that when you get to this age, I mean, at least for me, not necessarily for everybody, you realize that, like, oh god, well, they're gone. You know, I think fireworks are right to go. They're gone because all of your parents, your grandparents are dead, and you've lost sort of that like school equivalent, like the school thing that would have been where you get all the smaller presents, and you're stuck with like your parents' present, probably like a couple close friends, right? And you sort of realize that like that's the presents on the part, right? It's the fun you have with all of your family and friends when you're actually there and like celebrating that you know you've lived another year, you're older and stuff. But I think I've just sort of realized that I don't know. I left my birthday going like I didn't have a bad time. I had a great time. I went out for lunch, had a lovely meal. I went out for tea. I had a lovely meal. I have like no complaints about my birthday, but I realized very early on that it just doesn't have. It's like how when you're a kid and you realize that Santa's not real, you there's a portion of the Christmas experience that just sort of disappears. And I think as soon as you hit like anything over 25, the same happens with your birthday. You lose that sort of um wonder. You know, the presents become practical presents. The I don't really like this meteor as much as it is works with the vision thing we're going. I'll take the projection. Oh no, it's only a debuff. If they're giving me a slight buff, it'd be different. But yeah, I think I've just realised now that that's the standard. That's just what will be happening in the future. It's like with my mum, there's always been like one big present she gets, and that should be it. But she always is that kind of person that will go above and beyond and then get me a couple of small things that I want, right? And back in the day, they'd be a new console or a couple of new games or like a computer or something. Well, not a computer, not a whole computer. I'd bear in mind those consoles and like the computer thing would be like she's contributing to me to be buying it kind of thing. That would have been like 20, the early 20s kind of thing. Um, and nowadays it's practical things. It's for example, my big present this year was glasses. And I'm not annoyed about the glasses. I needed glasses. I hadn't gone in 6 years, and uh my prescription was like, it's gone from regular to being like as bad as my mum, who uses varifocals, in terms of distance. Not in terms of close up, but in terms of distance. And it's like, okay, that's significant enough. And like now I can see the world in like insane detail I didn't expect, you know? So like, don't get me wrong, I love my present, but it is that kind of real sort of realization that that's how things go nowadays. That's what it is now. The sorry, I'm really bad at. Wait, did I lose a health there? Didn't look like I did, but I heard the sound and I thought, it's just a realization I've come to. Oh, it's that sound. That just sounds like you're getting hit. Slightly worried about my damage here. Bearing in mind that feel like I'm been repeatedly hitting its leg like this whole time, and not one of the sections has died. Oh, there's a health bar. Why did I just miss that? How long's that been there? How many updates has there been a health bar there? Three times will damage them again by the combined. Ooh, that's good. That might be good as well. I think I need more damage though. Alright, let's get to the other side then. Okay, yeah, that's made us monumentally better at killing. I want the one that increases my damage. Melee damage for every second that passes. Yes. I don't know if it's good, but I love scaling things. So yeah, I think I've come to the conclusion and sort of just realized that that's just how the world works. As much as it's a shame, it's just sort of like a way of life. I think it's also a part of like, generally when you are those younger ages, every freaking year there is something monumental that's happening. It's like, oh, you can do this. You're getting this much. You have this much freedom now, or you know, you're learning something new. Like it's that feeling of everything you do at that point is when cone vision. Excuse me, when cone vision. I think I won that gun. Everything has like a point to it, like there's a big decision almost every year. And that's partially part of it. I think also partially part of it is the fact that um once you get to this age, I know people always harp on and like, oh, they all say this, but it genuinely, I didn't believe it until I got to this age, but it's true. And I'm saying this age, I understand I am relatively young in the scheme of things. I still got a fair amount of my life, assuming I live to the general assumed average age. I've got a lot of my life left, but yeah, it does, even now, even with it being like me only being in like my late 20s, I already feel the whole idea of like, oh yeah, time goes a lot quicker. Like, time goes a lot quicker when you get older. Like, I remember that um the summer holidays, there were 6 weeks, and those 6 weeks were, it doesn't work on bosses. What's the point in them then? Those 6 weeks were like forever. Like, you'd go into it and go like, I have got forever. I'm going to forget all my friends. I'm going to forget everything because I'm going to be on holiday for like forever. And now, like, I can. A month is nothing. You know, if it's like, oh, there's a month left until I do this thing, it doesn't mean anything. Months can go in a second. I remember January like it was yesterday. And it's more than half of the way through. We're 2/3 of the way through this year. That's sort of the level we're at this point. But yeah, it's a weird situation. Is it? I think it made me realize that that's sort of just how it is. Every enemy killed by an able explosion in wildfire inflicts equal to the done death. Okay, yeah, look, I'll take wildfire because I need something else to be using. But yeah, it's just weird. And I think I've sort of also come to the conclusion that I now realize that I'm not sure if it's definitely, the thing is, I'm comparing normal, I know I'm comparing normal to, I'm comparing normal to like sitcoms and stuff because I don't have a reference to what is normal, because everyone who's my reference are people around me that, you know, I don't know if they're also doing what is considered normal, right? I think I've realized that my normal is what it is now. And there's some stuff I can't bring up in stream because I just don't think it's appropriate to. But it's interesting to think about. Tell you what I have been thinking about recently that I can sort of bring up in stream because I don't think it's like, I'm not. The thing is, the things I don't bring up on stream are things that I know, like, there could be someone else who is a part of it that doesn't want to be associated in this particular conversation or something, right? So I can bring this up because it's just relating to me. I think I've sort of realized that more so than before, I am at a point now where there isn't a lot of overlap between like interests that I have to talk about and interests that my friends want to talk about. I think I'm, maybe it's just a me thing. I could be wrong, but I just feel like a lot of the time nowadays I just don't really know what to talk about with my friends. I love playing games with them, and whenever we're doing like our D&D stuff, I'm like, yeah, this is great. Well, it's not D&D. It's TTRPG stuff. But I've been thinking about it recently, and I'm like, whenever I'm in a conversation with them about stuff, I don't really know what to talk about recently. And I don't think that's. I think that's on me, really. Because I'm generally quite bad at conversations and stuff. But I think it's just been more notable recently, where I've just been like, I don't. I hope there's a game here for us to talk about, because I don't know what to talk about if there's not a game to talk about, kind of thing. I don't know. It also can just be. I've realized recently that more so than ever, I have like mood swings. Well, I guess not mood swings in the sense of like I don't think they're like huge changes in my at like attitude. I think generally like there'll be days I wake up and I just don't feel like that. I feel negative, you know? I just generally, if there's going to be something, I'm probably going to see the negative outlook on it, or like it's not like I am generally like depressed or anything. It's just that if there is an option like of how to take something that's happening, generally it will be taken negatively. But this ability is so good when you're just a sword boy. And I think that it could be entirely be that that's just what I'm feeling today. Like a post-birthday kind of blues kind of thing. Who knows? But it's just something I wanted to sort of like talk out. And like I'm already feeling like some parts of what I thought were stupid just by talking it through. It's why I'm sort of like backtracking in what I'm saying is because I'm just realizing how like through it that it's just sometimes it's just me being a dingus. This one seems decent if I can go down the bloodlust one, but I don't know if I got rid of that. And this gives me 200% damage. Yeah, let's go with it. But yeah, I don't know. It's I'm in a weird situation recently. Although I will say, I've been playing, talking on better topics. That Tainted Grail that we played on Monday. God, that game's good. God, that game is like insanely good. Like it really is like a Skyrim in modern day. Like honestly, to the level of that in terms of like my enjoyment. Like I played Skyrim very much late into it, so I don't have the attachment I think a lot of people do. But I freaking enjoy. I enjoyed Tainted Grail a hell of a lot. I think the only bit that's been a bit iffy for me is I'm not annoyed about the fact I can come across incredibly high level enemies. In fact, I was talking with one of my friends about it, and I was specifically like, this is a selling point for me. The fact I can randomly come across, like, I can find a random quest, and the dude that you fight in that, like, remember that Blood Fiend that we found? It had its own blimmin' boss intro thing, and it was insanely powerful, and I couldn't beat it. And I just like, oh well, I guess I have to come back for that. I love that concept. I love that. I think the my complaint at the moment has been I find I don't think I heal out of combat, which I find a bit annoying. I understand you're supposed to use food and stuff, but I just find the whole situation a bit annoying because I'm just like, I don't have enough food to consistently make stuff to keep myself healed. I think that's a problem I'm finding. And also, I feel like there isn't enough shops to like figure out like a build. Like I'm finding myself recently Like, I found casually some sort of mage gear, in the sense I found a druid's like gear in a random chest in like a goblin camp or something. So it's cool. It's allowing me. That did change a lot, because it went from me being like, oh, I've got this sword, and I shoot them occasionally, but then when they get close, I just have to hit them with my sword because my mana run out. To, oh no, I can consistently be shooting with my basic attack. Um, I consistently be shooting with my basic attack like the whole time. And like, I'm sure I can hit them with my sword if they get close, but I don't need to. Like, it made the build work. I'm just kind of like wishing for. Well, for one, I haven't seen a single person selling a summoning spell. Maybe they're somewhere in the keep. I haven't done like a huge exploration of the keep. Well, I think I've done a huge exploration. I think I've done a big one of the keep. I don't think I've done much of like the associated village that's near it. Um, but I haven't found a single summoner um shop in any capacity. I found a mage shop, but it was just seemingly selling the basic spells of um each of the different elements. So there was like an ice spell, there was a uh was an ice spell, there was a what was it? A lightning spell and a fire spell, and I already had a fire spell, so I didn't pick that up. But I don't know, I felt like I would like I'd like access to shops. I like access to shops to try out summoning, and I'd like higher level spells that like may cost a lot, obviously. Um, but like would maybe give me something that's like, hey, you could do this, you know? You could save up for this, or like this exists, kind of thing. But yeah, I also haven't found a single wand, which is a bit weird. Like, there's a whole tree in spiritualism that's talking about wands and cubes, and so I was really interested in like, oh, what are they? I haven't found a single wand yet, or a single cube. I assume that would maybe help with my ability to do stuff. I'm also quite interested to see if there's a way I can. I leveled up my dagger to +2, right? I would love to know if there was a way of doing that. Oh, I get a dash. No, I don't need that. I'd love it if there was a way to upgrade my spells. That I don't know if that's a thing. I would love it if it was. Um, so there's like little things that I think I need to. I'm sure like a portion of it. I don't know how many of it, but a portion of it a is probably user not figuring out some sort of part of it. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I've been having so much fun playing that. I've also been playing a bit of. I bought Tiny Tina's um D&D adventure solo game thing, and I don't know what it is about the game, but because I was thinking about it, I was like, is it this? Well, I know that doesn't really bother me. Is it this? I no, that doesn't really bother me. And it's like, it is a Borderlands game in all the sense of a Borderlands game, right? And I think it's got interesting things to it. It had adds the whole magic mechanic, which is sort of like a class ability, but you can change it up. Um, which is quite interesting, and the characters are not annoying. You know, like I never, other than like a couple of characters, like Handsome Jack and really kind of only Handsome Jack, in the sense were people that I was like, these people are like cool in. Okay, yeah, that was incredibly easy to do hard mode. I expected this to take a bit longer than this. Um, or like people that I actively found like in funny or entertaining. Um, did I get the achievement by the way? I did. Cool. So like I don't think it's a problem with like I hate X character. I think I just there's something not working for me with it. I don't know what it is, but I played it for a bit. I was having fun, but like I never had the feel to want to go back to it. Maybe it's because a lot of the other Borderlands games I've played with friends, and maybe that changes it. Well, I know that there's a buff from that, but I thought maybe that it was like this game is good and it makes it better when it's played with friends, but it kind of feels like it's this game is good only when with friends kind of thing. Which is a real shame to me because I did really want to try that, and it was one of those games that was always on the back burner. It was like I'll buy this when I see it on sale or something, right? But it just feels like even if I've only spent £5 on it, it felt like a bit of a waste, bit of a shame, you know. I was kind of hoping to get to a point where I could one shot these guys, but I guess not. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's a shame that I spent money on it because it just feels bad. Like I found myself wanting to play like the Pokemon fan games that are literally free more so than those, which I have been playing recently. I there was this new one that came out that was like it's Emerald, but it adds a bunch of Pokemon from like the all the other generations. I don't think it adds all of them, but it adds a bunch of like selected ones from other generations, and it's like expanded. Like they made some more areas in there, and they've made areas bigger, and like I've been having a metric ton of fun with that. I think one of the low key, like my favorite. We'll try this. Low key, one of my favorite things that they modders are now adding into the game is the ability to like look at a Pokedex and see how they evolve. Because the amount of time I've wanted to play a character, wanted to use a Pokemon, and I've just not known if A, like how to just base evolve them. And I know what people will be saying. They'll be like, "Oh, just use just use the internet, Google it." Yeah, I understand that, but my problem is that all of these games in some capacity, well, not in always, but a lot of the time, also add in an alternate way to do stuff. Like they obviously because trading isn't a thing in their games, they'll find an alternate way of evolving the trade evolutions. And like sure, most of the time that's something called like a link cable, right? But like, there's no guarantee it's gonna be that. And also, occasionally they just change how some things evolve because they're like, there's certain ones where it's like Malamar has like a holds your DS upside down or something, and then like walk a couple spaces. Like there's some that have like weirdly like specific things. Like Feebas evolves with like beauty contests in the game it came out in. But like obviously beauty contests to raise your beauty aren't a thing in every game. So like they have to have an alternate to do it that way, and it's like it's normally related to beauty, but I don't want to go through the hassle of like going through a bunch of ways to increase their beauty. And a lot of other people believe the same as me, and so a lot of the time they change it. And it's cool that they change it, but there's not always documentation about it. Instead, what they try and do is they go with the whole idea of there'll be a random NPC that says, "Oh, I really wanted this thing, but like I found out you had to do it like this way." But like if you don't like go specifically to talk to that NPC, you got no idea. And so the idea that you can just look in the Pokedex and be like, "Oh, this evolves at X level," or like a lot at the one of the games I was playing, I wanted to use a Gallade, and in that, like obviously God of War is just leveling. But Gallade, I think, takes like a shiny stone or something. I've never had a Gallade before. I'm not even sure if that's the base way you do evolve Gallade, but how you do it in this game, and I wouldn't have known if there wasn't a in the Pokedex thing. So I'm really happy that they're doing that kind of stuff. Holy damn, that's good. But yeah, I don't know. It's been fun playing those games. I think what oh, I can't believe I fell into that. I think I might have accidentally just with the twin katana shows one that's very easy to do. I kind of want to switch off whenever I die to a new one I haven't done. Would that be insane? But yeah, like it's been interesting just sort of chilling. I haven't had like a proper week off this year, and maybe that I really want to pick this up, and I know it's bad, but we're picking it up. So we're close enough together with the two shots that it's basically double damage. I don't know. I've been playing a lot of just games and relaxing and trying to get my body to sleep, but it's so in the mindset of, oh no, no, you're not sleeping now. You've got to get up at X time for work. That like I physically can't stop it from going from like waking up at a time, and I really have a hard time going back to sleep once I woke up. Unless it's like a literal second of me going, what? Okay, and then going back to sleep. I like the concept of this, but I want to be constantly attacking. That's just generally what I want to be doing. I'll take the movement speed. But yeah, I don't know. It's been interesting recently. Very interesting. No, no. Yeah, sure. I do have like a mindset though of like it's only Wednesday, and obviously I've got the week off, and I'm already like, oh god, it's almost ended. Oh, what am I gonna do? Blah 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 blah. Don't know what this says about my work, by the way, but the only person that like wished me happy birthday on the day, like obviously the company got me a card because that's like the minimum requirement a company does. Okay, I died. But the only person that like actively said like happy birthday on my birthday was the person who was leaving. The person who literally is leaving the company because they're being made redundant. They're fine. They've got like a pension. They'll be fine. Like it's not a horrendous thing. I mean, they didn't want to be made redundant, obviously, but still. But yeah, it feels weird that that's true. I don't know what that says about my company or what it says about the people there. We're not a huge company either. It's this weird. I think this is a problem just with my mindset on these days where I'm not feeling 100%. Because I think I just get thinking about things that I really don't need to be thinking about. The concept, it's just the reasoning why they haven't wished me happy birthday is because that's not the assumption. You know, I don't do that for them, they don't do that for me, kind of thing. I think I've got to realize that if I'm not willing to do X thing for them, why would they do X thing for me? You know, does that make sense? I think that makes sense to me. Yeah, why not? Let's go with Scythe Bleed. Yeah, that's adding a bit more damage, actually. Circle Vision up. Ooh, but I could have another projectile. No, let's Circle Vision it up. You know what this game really could need? I mean, you already get a lot of deletes and rerolls, actually, so maybe not. But it'd be cool if you could have, like, a lock mechanism where you could, like, go, oh, I want that next time. I've seen that in a lot of Survivor likes before. This is just there for boss killing. Actually, it seems to be working against everything. I guess I do have a decent amount of projectiles. I don't know if I want to be taking this just yet. But if I don't go this... No, I don't think I want to do this. After killing an enemy your next shot, I don't think this is relevant to us either. This is an interesting one I haven't really gotten much use out of yet. I don't really understand it too much. I think I might be going like full bleed with the scythe. Okay, this is... We are not doing the damage I expected against this boy. Oh no, he died though. Like, it's not horrendous. Ooh, do we want bullet damage or do we want? I think we want fire rate. I think we're going full fire rate. If we can get more attacks out, then there's more bleed procs, which means there is more damage. That I'm getting a lot more damage off of the bleed procs than I'm getting off of myself. Do I also go radiation? Because I'm going vision and also I'm going fire rate? By the way, I'm not 100% sure, but I think maybe the dual katanas when we had radiation with them were also I could be completely wrong thinking this, but were also maybe doing double like 2 instances of like radiation, like because there was 2 instances of attacks coming out of one click with the I could be wrong. Like like 20% more damage. Yeah, look, I don't think I care about my weapon damage. Is this an insane way to go? It doesn't feel like it. Because I'm losing like 1 damage on my weapon, but I'm gaining like 50% more damage on my bleed. Shrapnel's good, but I don't want to lose fire rate. Clone Sentinel I don't care about. I don't particularly like that. I think bullet size is actually relevant here. I just want to get the vision thing. I want that. I want glow. Oh, I think I just got a message. No, that was somebody on my door. Hold on a second. Okay, it's just post. Oh god. Okay, it's work related. I'm not dealing with it. Well, no, I'm not dealing with it until after I've done what I want to do, which is do this. So she can wait an hour and 20 minutes. That's probably fine. Blitzing bleed on an enemy removes 25% of their health once, doesn't apply to many bosses and bosses. Well then, what do you want it for then? I know I said I wanted this, but I want this more. Radiation isn't our full damage, it's bleed. So I take the I'm not gonna take the radiation one, I'm not gonna take the Have you ever looked, by the way, at a game? There's a game on Game Pass right now that's called like not called Snowpiercer, but all I can think is Snowpiercer at the moment. But it's about like building a train in an ice it seems like a bit of an apocalyptic area. A bit like building a train and like upgrading it like a roguelike and making your way through this sort of like frozen nightmare scape thing. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because I was reminded of why I haven't played it, even though it looks like something I'd give a try, seeing as I functionally have it for free because it's on the Game Pass. Um, and it's because it specifically touts itself as being like, it says in it that it's like a what would be the word? A like a heavy strategy game. How did I take damage there? And because it's like a heavy strategy game, it put me off trying it because I was like, I'm not 100% sure I'm good enough to play those kinds of things. Okay, I can see why I took damage. Nice increase in damage for every by 40% every second they're flying. Hit enemy with the same size to create 2 exercise with half the damage. Emit vision circles. Ooh, yes. There's a part of me that wanted to try out the small mini scythe one, but vision circles is quite interesting. Okay, I need attack speed every second. Fire rate every second. Yes, 100%. I don't know if this one's that good, because it's 3%, right? One more fire rate. But I don't know, there's a part of me that just wants to pick it every time. But yeah, I was put off playing this game just because it was like it was being really like heavy-handed in the like description of it, of like how it is a how it is like this heavy strategy game, and I was like, you know what? I'm not sure this is made for me. I'm not sure that this is the kind of game I want to be playing. Surprised I'm not getting more kills when it's leaving blood splatters, because I thought it was every time you kill with overkill, and I kind of just assumed that was the only way I was killing stuff. Or maybe I'm at a point where the overkill thing doesn't kill them. That's good. It just weakens them to the point where something else gets them or something. But yeah, I don't know. I probably will never play that just because of the description of it. Because I've realised as I have gotten older, there's no need to put on this facade of me being decent at a game. And instead I should just pick the one that I know is going to be the we're not picking that. I know is going to be the difficulty where I'm gonna play it and it's gonna be the funnest. And so nowadays I'm a prolific easy difficulty clicker. Like I'm very, very like I played through a Pokemon fighting game recently that I didn't really. It was called Pokemon Unbreakable Ties, and I stopped in that game because it was getting to a point where playing the playing the with the Pokemon I had, which all as a team, I think maybe had a horrible weakness to like poison or something. Or like there was one specific combo of like two types that in actuality once combined I just couldn't deal with the dudes I wanted on my team. And I'm not the dude who changes up my team for like strategies or anything. So I was just like, well, I'm sick of this game. I don't want to play anymore, kind of thing. You know, throw my toys out the pram, kind of thing. And so I went back to play it recently, and I was just like, you know what? Let's go for easy. Let's try out easy difficulty. And I played it through, and admittedly, I think I chose a better team. Like, they're a bit more rounded team, but I still didn't have a full team even at the end of the game. I still think I kill a fair amount outside, that would just be a debuff. But I'm not really sure what I'm looking for here. 50% slower. Yeah, let's pick the light wave up. But yeah, I've been having a lot more fun well, I say recently, in the past couple of years since I came to the conclusion that I'm fine doing that. If I'm playing a game that I want to be difficult, there is only one kind of time I'm playing, and that's when I'm playing with friends. I have, I think, a weird thing where I'm fine with a game being difficult if it's a game I'm playing with friends. Like, if there's this really hard, like, you're supposed to use all the resources and you get, and like you've got to scrounge for stuff. If I'm playing that and I'm playing that with a friend in co-op, it was not a problem. I'm never like annoyed with a boss fight that we die a couple times to. I'm never annoyed with a when a strategy isn't working and we have to switch it up. I'm never annoyed with those kinds of things. Like, I remember back in the day, I played through Divinity Original Sin on, like, the highest difficulty. And I was playing it through with a friend, and I, straight up, never had a point where I was that annoyed. Because I was just playing with a friend, and it was fine, you know? There was a boss in, like, the first act that's like in Divinity Original Sin 2, that's like a lady that's been, uh, I guess, crucified, and she spews fire down and stuff. And, like, she was really cool. But she's also one of those people that, like, they expect you at the very end of that act, because you can't go back to her. The very end of that act to be able to barely defeat her if you choose like the right strategy. There'll be people that like are experts in Divinity Original Sin 2 that are like, no, you can beat her quite easily, even with this build or this build. I didn't have a problem, blah yada yada yada. Well, uh, that wasn't true for us. What was true for us was that we had a metric ton of fun just trying to figure out how to beat them. There was a point in a fight we were dealing with where we were throwing boxes in the way of a dude so he couldn't jump up to us, and then we sniped the guy from high above, and it was hilarious. You know, that kind of stuff, it just never gets to me. You know, I'd love to play. I think one of the things I'd love to do with my friends, and I don't think it'll ever happen, um, unless it was like a. I think it could happen with Baronzar if we made it a weekly stream thing, but it doesn't really fit the sort of niche that he's filling at the moment, which is like the horror sort of dark games at the moment. That seems to be the way he's going with his sort of content. But I'd love to do like a really like highest difficulty, maybe not like the one where you're Iron Manning it, but like I'd love the difficulty of the stuff where you're Iron Manning it. Um, of Baldur's Gate, because it adds like boss mechanics to some of the mini bosses and stuff that I would love to see. And also, it's an incredible game that he hasn't played through the whole way. Yeah, I'd love to play. I'd love to play that through with that. I think that'd be the only person that realistically we could make stick a schedule for. If I'm being honest, though, I'd love to play Solasta with some people as well. Solasta's such an underrated game. The only problem is the voice acting in it. Increasing damage by 150% and size by 20% for each enemy hit. Oh, okay. I don't think that's really useful. I don't have 15 on the field a lot. I want to do Scythe Storm. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be fun to do those kinds of things. Don't know if you guys saw the D&D news that they did. They announced like functionally what their next year and a bit is going to be in terms of like books and stuff, and they're going a way that like I assumed was always going to happen, but um I'm kind of worried that they're doing it, which is they're going the same way they did with MTG, which is they're doing universes beyond, which functionally just means hey, other IPs will make a book of like how to play your IP in our world, which is cool. And for example, one of the first ones they're showing off, which is World of Warcraft, fits a lot. You know, it fits a heck of a lot, and the subclasses that will come out of it, I'm really interested to try and interested to see and stuff. My worry is the worry I have of Magic the Gathering at the moment, which is that the next year and a bit of content coming out for Magic the Gathering um, is more universes beyond stuff than universes within stuff. So that they're because of how much money these IPs coming in and doing either a card game or D&D rules are. Obviously, I don't know if the D&D rules one is going to be as lucrative as the MTG one was, but because of how good that was, what they do is they just stop prioritizing that over prioritizing books within their own universe. And the problem that comes of that is that I don't know, it dilutes your own IP because you've got so much of that IP in. Now, when you're sort of made for it, like Fortnite kind of is, it's a different story. Whereas, like, yeah, there's a story in Fortnite, but like, it doesn't really matter that there's all these skins, and sometimes these skins are actually relevant to the story. But when it's something that already has an established part of it, and I know people don't really normally use the lore of the Sword Coast or like generally that kind of stuff, the lore in there, they normally make their own thing, or at least that's my experience of people playing D&D. It still isn't great to do that because then all you've got is like, oh, what do you guys want to play? Oh, I'm gonna play this official subclass. I'm gonna play the Sith Apprentice subclass. You know, and it just I don't know, it loses out. I think the one that also worries me the most is the Star Wars one because look, yes, there is a sort of sci-fi There's Eberron, right? Which has a sort of sci-fi-esque look to it. We don't really have like guns in the sense of like Star Wars and stuff, and we certainly don't have like the sort of like proper like high sci-fi space travel-y that kind of thing in base D&D. Now I could be wrong. There could be like a world that is like not as well known that is very much that. And I know there is the astral plane where um there's like functionally space pirates because it's functionally space. Um, but they've always been like fringe things, and it just I don't know. I'm worried it's gonna feel a bit weird when it's like, here's my Sith apprentice subclass. But who knows? We'll see. I'm a bit negative now, but I'm actually really looking forward to the Dark Sun stuff they're doing. I've seen a lot of people that have been annoyed because they were into the original Dark Sun, and there's like bits of the posters and stuff that they think is a sign that they're not going to do it as well as the original was. And let's be honest, they're not. They're not going to be doing it as well as the original creators are, because the people that are really into it are so into it that they're going to be annoyed with any changes that are done to the world, to the story, to the rules or anything. And B, they have good reason to be worried, and they good reason to be annoyed, because a lot of the time with it being a big company like that, they're not going to take any risks when it comes to like, oh my this isn't well liked by like X group, this might be controversial to do. That that if you're a small sort of like smaller company, or like even an independent author that wants to make something, you don't mind about taking those risks as much, whereas they do, because they have shareholders that they need to please and stuff. Although the fact that they have been explicit in saying that this is a mature, you have to be over 18 to even buy it kind of book, is sort of like a step in the right direction, I imagine. I think what I'm hoping from it is that I don't really think I'll be hugely infatuated with the lore. I will read the lore because I like reading these books and like learning the lore of these specific things. But I think what I'm looking forward to in those books is maybe seeing if there's rules in it for more like hardcore style settings. The idea that like there is like hardcore rules in base D&D, like as optional rules, at least in the 2014 rules there are. I'm not sure about 5.5. Um, but like they didn't feel like comprehensive because they were just optional rules, right? Whereas it feels like, at least to a certain extent, from what I've heard, like magic is frowned upon in this world, or like is seen with like a bit of fear. And so there is a chance that there's going to be like nerfs in terms of maybe narrative nerfs, but still nerfs with magic casters, and maybe even physical nerfs to magic casters, in the sense of it's harder to gather mana or something. Who know? Will gather like spell slots. Okay, well, I had to go the other way. I was running into it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if there's stuff like that. Because I do think that D&D has a severe problem of... There is always a problem in general with the magic casters to... I'm not falling for that twice. I love this boss. He's so fun. They do have a problem with like magic casters just being notably better than non-magic casters, especially the higher level you get. And so like I'm more for buffing martial classes, but if the way they're going about it is nerfing magic casters, then I'm not annoyed. Like that's the second way I do it. Okay, I'm just checking what else I need to do. Great sword, obviously. Rail gun I need to do. Burst rifle, saw launcher. Okay. Have a look at the burst rifle first. Okay, 3-shot burst. Okay, yeah. Let's go with that. That seems like it'd be easy to use. Up my fire rate, do a fire rate build. I think that's kind of the only build I've got nowadays. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Dark Sun one. They're adding the Scion back, which is really interesting, because the whole point of the Scion was it was like, what if magic but weird? Look, it's a magic. It's like a magic class in all senses of the thing, except obviously the fact it's technically psychic powers, but they're functionally one and the same. It's a supernatural way in which you can get like things you can't normally do. So I'm going to sit up a bit. Um, but they do it in an interesting way where it's like it fundamentally feels a bit different. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they go about that. And whether there'll be other subclasses that fit more into that, who knows? I've always been a component of I haven't yet to play a game where you can play a tank class in and it actually feel like a tank class. Like, because in D&D, the best you can do, and they've been doing this a bit more recently, but I don't think it really works in the way that they expect. But the best you can do in D&D is like they can hit the other person, but they've got disadvantage if they hit anyone but you. And my sort of thinking with that is like that's really cool. Yeah, sure. Like that emphasizes that they need to hit the other guy. Problem with that is, wait a minute, this one. I hate that one. The problem with that is that my experience, the bosses have a decent enough to hit that they don't care that they have disadvantage. Because they're still probably going to hit, and then that dude in the back is still more of a problem than you, and so they'll take the equivalent of -5 to hit the other guy because that guy's more of a problem. And the problem is you can't really do a full tank thing without making it feel a bit gamey. But I don't know. I think making it gamey isn't necessarily bad. You just narratively make it feel like it's something else. you taunt them. Like, you literally, not like as in like game mechanic taunt, like you actively are taunting them to the point where they are focusing you. And then maybe if it's like a robot, maybe you're artificially making yourself seem more of a threat than the thing that they think is a threat. Who knows? There's ways. Smarter people than me can easily come up with ways in which taunts work, even against things that you'd think taunts wouldn't work against. Like elementals, or like constructs, or even like mindless undead. Also, I think there's fun stuff you can do with that, like have it where like, oh, how did you taunt the vampire? I showed him my neck, and I was like, oh, do you want this? Oh, you know, that kind of thing. I think there's fun stuff you could do with it. I think what I'm trying to say is I wish there were more taunt subclasses. I don't necessarily think there should be a taunt class. Um, but I do think that like fighter, paladin, um, maybe even barbarian, well, also probably barbarian should at least have like taunt subclasses that are possible. I haven't seen the new art for those, which could be like old art, and I just haven't noticed it. And by old, I mean it could have been like previous updates, but I quite like it. Good. Radiation essentially recharged on the next shot if 5 more enemies were killed in it. That's really good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's really good. I love it. They appear, they die. I get a second one of it. It kills anything else that comes close. But that's really good once you're getting to the level of like your circle vision being huge. I love the radiation skill. It's such a good skill. You know what game I want to give a try again? Because I gave it a bit of a shot and I think I was just a bit too negative on it. I don't think I came in with the right mindset. I really want to give Outer Worlds a try again. I think that's the one. It's like the Fallout but in space kind of thing that they were going for. I think playing Tainted Grail has made me like have a hankering for those style of games again, and I genuinely feel like that if I'm gonna want to play those style of games, I'll stay away from Bethesda for a bit because uh Bethesda's not that good at making games recently. Although again, I've brought this up before, but I kind of wouldn't mind trying out Starfield again. I know people don't rate it that very highly, but also like I don't need much to have fun. And if I find that I have fun just going through quests, like the story not being the best, but also not being egregious, then I will. Like I'm not playing it, expecting it to be like this insane work of art. Like I'm not playing it assuming that the story is going to be like a Mass Effect or something, or like an Expedition 33. I'm playing it expecting to be like, oh, the story is bad guy, huh? Anyway, I shoot them with cool gun I found. Like, look, I play Pokemon fan games regularly. Half of them just have, I've just copied like they've gone for like the same style of story as a Pokemon game does, and those are generic as frick. Don't know why I said frick. I actually found myself using the word frick not unironically more, like, not more, about the same amount as I make. I use the regular one. Damage enemies to damage them twice. These all seem good. Do an extra round if the burst is more than 5 enemies are revealed. Hit 3 shots of a burst on an enemy to increase the damage of your next burst by 100%. I'll take the serrated rounds, although I genuinely think that the other one would have been better at killing a boss. And maybe I'm making a mistake here, because I could be doubling my damage at the moment. Did I take damage there? I think I did. I should have, really, if I didn't. That attack feels like it should do damage to me and it doesn't, and it weirds me out every time. I think I should have picked the other skill. I think that's going to come back to bite me. Ah! I need more vision, please. I need more vision, please. This is fine. I have this weird problem where, like, obviously I'm having a lot of fun playing Tainted Grail, but there's always that thing in the back of my mind of like, oh, should I save this for like a Wednesday stream, as like after I finish Pillars? And there's a part of me that's like, sure, because I'm also playing through a Pokemon fan game. I brought it up, and like, I'm also having fun with that, and I have a hard time splitting my attention between two games that are story-based. Did I just take damage to this dude? Frick, I'm not paying attention as much today. What was I doing? What was I doing? Okay, we tried out the burst rifle. What else was there? Railgun. Let's try out the railgun. So it fires a burst of 4 lasers that pierce targets. So you probably don't want to be taking pierce. You probably want to be taking ricochet, maybe? Who knows? Yeah, I can't split my attention. Even when I have all this extra time because I'm off, I find it hard to split my attention in that sense. Damage is not the best on this, eh? That's not happening. Where do I want to go? Like, fire rate seems good. I'm not sure about the extra projectile one, but I kind of also want to go that way. Ain't nothing divine, everything to make counter accusations. Accusations. I'm not sure where the fallout goes, but we all know I'm gonna pick radiation every time. This was a mistake, because literally every one of these shots doesn't... Like, these 4 shots is 1 shot. If my fire rate gets up enough, can I just be rapid firing it? Can I can it reload faster than I can actually shoot all of them? Bleed's good when you're shooting a lot of little projectiles, so let's go bleed. This might be not a vision build, but if you make the vision big enough, every build is a vision build. You think about it. I know it's probably a bit weird that I didn't put any music on this, because normally either I'll have the music of the game or I'll be putting music on. I actually just felt like I had so much to talk about that like I didn't really need to do it. But now I'm sort of hitting that point where it's like I don't have an easy next topic to go into. And so I'm talking like this, obviously, but I wonder how much it's going to take to kill this guy. My guess is a lot. My strategy of like moving around so I can kill stuff didn't work. Let me take a drink of my drink. Holy damn! I double heard that and it really fucking... I hope people didn't have their headphones on like really high volume there, because that will do something. Right, I'm back. I needed that drink. I say I'm back as if I had like left or something, but you know what I mean. Liberties and monkeys learn to build machines. I really want to play more of these games. I wish there was another Humble Bundle of like these games that was out, so I could just play a bunch of them. I love these games. These are just such fun. Like, put them on, have a video in the background, play this for a bit. I absolutely can't wait for when I can actively like buy this full release game. I might buy it for a bunch of my friends, even though it isn't co-op, and normally I'd only ever buy a game for my friend if it was co-op, because I want to play it with them. But like, this game's fun. This game's like really fun. And like it's been made by either a small team or one guy. I think it's one guy, but maybe he brought in more people. And I want more people to play it. Imagine like this is what one of my friends feels about the Cosmos stuff. Well, that reminds me. I have this sort of mindset of like whenever I'm playing like a TTRPG or even just an RPG in a game sense, I'm like, why would I ever play a human? I'm a human in real life. I don't want to be playing a human in a game. And so when games don't have like a load of cool race options, I'm kind of annoyed occasionally. I won't lie. But I do know a couple people that are like, they play humans relatively often, and I'm just like, I don't really understand it too much, unless there's an ability the humans get that like is powerful. Like I don't see the point. I can see, for example, like in 2014 D&D, I could see people going very inhuman because they want to get access to like all the stuff you get from that. But I don't understand just picking it because you want to play a human. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I've played humans in D&D before, but normally the reason I've played humans in D&D is because I'm in a place where it doesn't either I'm in a place where it doesn't really make sense, or I'm trying to play generico because I'm playing a character that is a generic person. That's the whole point. So I guess I can understand to a certain extent. I don't know. It's for me. I see the appeal of playing any other race over that. If they were the generic race in that world, I would be like, yeah, I'll play them then. It wasn't because I wasn't picking it because it was human, you know. Oh, the damage on this is bad, eh? Probably means that I need to up my radiation and blood-based things. Not that I need to up my damage in really any major way. Because look, I'm doing 4 and 3. If I'm upping that by percentages, it's not upping by much. This is huge. This actually will give a bit of a bonus. 10% adds up, you know? Every time I flinch because I think I've taken damage, whenever that goes off, the big attack. That attack. I kind of wish, fire an extra shot on the back, fire 2 freezes. I kind of like each subsequent swap does more damage. I just said I don't need damage buffs. But I don't think this one's... let's pick that one. They're not shooting in the back at all. What? Oh, extra shot in the burst. Yep, I've hit the point. It's rapid fire. Die, die, die. And it is only getting faster. I'm never killing anything in a single shot. We can just get rid of that line. What was I saying before? Oh, right. I might look into the Dark Sun lore just to see what we're dealing with. But then there's also a part of me that's like, what's the point in looking at this when it could change? And instead, I could just wait until the books come out and then look at those. It's unlikely anyway that I'll be playing D&D anyway for a while. There's a chance that I'll be playing it after I do my Dark Heresy thing, but it's not hugely... It's still up in the air. And it won't be streamed. Either way, it won't be streamed. God, I am so nervous whenever I'm on other people's streams. Because there's always a part of me that's like... The thing is, like, if I do something stupid here, I've done something stupid here, and I've jeopardized what... I'm only jeopardizing myself. If I'm doing something stupid on someone else's stream, I'm not just jeopardizing myself, I'm jeopardizing their stream, you know? I think that's the major difference. I need... let's pick this up. Oh, yes, that's the damage we needed. Yes, that's huge. Okay, yeah, this is probably, unless I'm an idiot and gets hit a load, this is probably a win. And nothing, deny everything, make counter accusations. I'm not sure where the fallout goes, but we all know. I feel like the final boss should also incorporate like the projectiles instead of just the things on the ground. Just to sort of like change it up. I don't mind if it was just the only the final boss, but it'd be cool if they did it. Maybe they do. I don't remember what the final boss is of the second map. I might not even have done the final boss of the second map. Two less shots? Is that relevant? It might be. Do we want damage? Like, I normally take the bullet damage thing next, but I'm not focusing bullet damage. Like, vision seems more important. Not sure where the fallout goes, but we all know. Will be trouble when the kids come out. God, did I tell you guys about how I read through... I must have brought this up, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but this happens a lot. So if you've been a regular watcher of me, you'd know about this. Um, I was reading the latest book for D&D, which was the like Curse of Strahdish, like the Dreadlands, which like Strahd and Strahd and his other boys that are stuck in the Dreadlands. And it is very funny seeing it because I understand all the different types of horror that they're going for, and each of the realms sort of like facilitates that. So you got like, oh, do you want to do like a Frankenstein who's made a load of like a world of Frankensteins, but like he's made a load of mishmash of like abominations that rule it, and he like science rules everything kind of thing. Or do you want to go with like a... You want to go with like a... Oh, it's a jungly, like little villages, and there's a forest surrounding all of them, and it's like, oh, it's all about this werewolf that goes around infecting people, like that kind of stuff. Or do you want to go with like, oh, there's only one village here and it's all protected by this deity, but the deity wants sacrifices and he's not good. You know, that kind of thing. Like, there's different kinds of horror kind of thing. Or you do want to go to like Innsmouth and deal with, Eldritch stuff. But I find it really funny when you look at like the levels of the Dreadlords, because you've got people that are just like generals, and like they're really good with the sword. They do a lot of damage, and occasionally they can call artillery on an area. And that's sort of it. They're a general. They lead troops. They're just, at the end of the day, they are just a person. But like with they're a person, but with like the buff that all martial classes have of being like borderline superhuman once you get to later levels, you know? But then some of them are Strahd, where you're pretty powerful magical combatants. That it's not a human technically, but is humanoid. They're vaguely human shaped. And then you have Cthulhu. It's insane to me, like the levels of it, where it's just like you have like all the different horrors, and the horrors at the very least, even with the higher CRs, are like sort of grounded in the world. And then you have Cthulhu's there, who's just like, no, I'm like an old god. Like, you can't beat me, I'm an old god. Well, Circle Shape is active, which is always on. Your burst is replaced by a spread of 6 lasers. Oh, Bullet Flower going off is kind of cool. Let's go for the flower. That one's really cool, though. But I'm worried that it would break up my build. I think it's one of my favorite things. I'll go back to the Cthulhu thing in a second, but I will say that this just brought up one of my favorite things about this figure, which is each of the weapons obviously feels different in how they shoot, just in general, because they're different kinds of guns. Like a sniper's different to a shotgun kind of thing, but also all the different like weapon. All the different sort of weapon, what's the word? All the different weapon types and the weapon upgrades you get. The weapon upgrades actively like make them feel even more uniquely their own. And like they feel like they have their own identity that makes them cool, unique ones. And at the end of it, like you can have a railgun that's like I could be shooting completely differently now than what I'm doing now. Two different railgun builds could be completely different if you focus a different way. And I always like that in concept, because it's the thing that all the games want to do, and some of them advertise that they can do, but realistically they can't do. You know, like every blimmin' every one of these is unique, and then you look in it surface, and it's like not really. In actuality, they're all quite similar. I'm getting through these slowly. Actually, I'm saying slowly. It's not a bad actual speed. It's nothing to compared to what it used to be with the other one, but I think it's okay. I don't think I want that. I don't think I want that. I'll take the bullet damage buff, even though I don't think realistically the bullet damage is what I want. I mean, I'm doing 6 damage. But, I mean, having that go up is probably better than before. And, like, the 10% lowering of movement speed is not huge to me, you know? Don't think I want that. Blighted Decay. I've never really understood this. You know what? I'm picking this up instead. Counteract the movement speed debuff I have. I can get to the point where my damage from my gun is doing about like 30. Then I feel like it'll be relevant, you know? I'm not sure what if my bleed damage scales on something or whether it's a flat number. Like if it's a scale of your weapon damage, then this is good. If it isn't, then it isn't. What is Meteor Maker? Killing an enemy instantly destroys all its projectiles. I don't want the movement speed debuff. So I think I'll delete that one as a concept. What is parry? Oh, you can spacebar parry. That's fun. It's not something I'm going to go down, but that is fun. I don't really want to go for anything that's still skill check based. I don't really want to pick any of these if I'm being honest, but I'll pick this. I'd love a bigger... I know it's insane to say because I've got a pretty damn big circle view anyway. But I'd love a bigger one. Maybe it's just me, but I've never understood, like, other than the very early game where you'd ever use that. I just feel like I'd just get hit so often by just random attacks if I did that. I'm still not convinced I want to pick this up. Because I do think I'm doing a decent amount of damage to stuff outside. Deadly Ricochet? Maybe, but this is what I want. Boom. That doesn't look like it changed at all. But maybe I zoomed out a bit more. I don't think you can ever get it to the point where it's on the whole it covers the whole screen, but I would love it if it did. That'd be really cool. Done for. Double done for. What is this one? It frees every 3 seconds. I mean, extra movement speed's never bad and it's not horrendous. I'd love to calculate how much I've gained from these. I wish it had like a little thing under it that showed you how much you gained from this. I took the fire rate first. I'd be interested to see how much of a buff to my fire rate I've had. Maybe like 30%. I think I got it around the 10-minute mark. It wouldn't be that unlikely because it's 3% a minute. 10 minutes. Doesn't sound nearly as impressive when I say it like that, but I still think it's worth it. I'm doing 12 damage now instead of 6 before I took the buff to my damage. But then I think I also took a buff to my damage after that from just what I was picking up. So it's like not 100% just from this. Yeah, let's pick up all this stuff. Okay, let's have a look at the damage. How are we doing on damage? That is reasonable damage. I'm going to have to do a bit of dodging. It's not going to be an insta-kill like that other one was. I don't even think we saw an attack last time we were dealing with him. Why does this enemy do the single attack forward attack? Like, I thought the quick attack forward was supposed to be... the laser that I just saw from the 3 different directions. But now that, like, the small attack forward doesn't feel like it does anything. Not that quick either. Like, if it was a quick attack forward, then maybe it was trying to, like, catch you out. But what's the point of that? Boom. We've done pretty well. We got Scythe, double katanas, and the railgun done. Grenade launch has been done. I imagine minigun has been done. Let me have a look at my achievements again. Greatsword, burst rifle, Thor launcher, battle axe, laser catalyst. Okay, let's try out the battle axe. Any slashes created from shrapnel upgrades cannot ricochet. I wonder why that was put in. I imagine there was someone doing something. For every heart you gain from now on, permanently gain 50% bullet damage / fire rate, including shield hearts or restoring hearts. Every 2 minutes, restore 1 empty heart. You can no longer exceed 4. Each time you get hit, all damage dealt to enemies is increased by 10%. Oh, shiitake mushrooms. Becomes inactive if you have more than 3 total mutations. Bullet damage up, fire rate up by a ton. Mini bosses spawn 2 at a time and have 25% more health. Why would you pick this? Why would you pick that? What was the point of that? Oh, it's a single slash down. I thought it'd be a swing, but I guess you got that with the greatsword. Now the wind up slash does have specifically this in it, and I still don't think I'm going to pick it. Because I want to be spamming. This doesn't feel good on you. This disappears. It said shrapnel can't ricochet, right? That's fine. But it kind of looks cool when the shrapnel happens. Do I want to go full in on kill in one shot? Possible. We won't get rid of it because of that. This will be, because we're not going to be shooting out of our vision. Do we pick it up? Do we pick it up? kind of works with the Doom. Yeah, we're going kill in one shot build. Boop. 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 If we're going for kill in one shot, we should have wind up. Shrapnel doing more. It's also a damage increase. I'm trying a build I don't normally do, but I think is the right way of going about it. That's fine. That's a 25% buff. More damage. Bleed is not useful, but that's useful. It does make me slightly slower, but I don't think I want the fire rate lowering even more. Well, I didn't get rid of Doombolt, did I? Feel like I might have. I don't feel like these buffs to my circle vision feel like they're doing much at all. I don't feel like I really want to do that. I could pick this up. I could pick this up. Both of them are decent. I think this one's better in general. $96 damage is insane when you think about how, like, I finished that last fight. Admittedly, not focusing damage, but I went out of that fight dealing like 12 damage. What are these endgame ones? Every time a bullet damages an enemy, it's a chance to become charged. Killing an enemy with a charged round deals double damage. 10% chance to blue charge. Every time you shoot, fire extra has 1% chance. I think that is probably the way to go, but I think I wanted Ricochet actually. I think I'm realizing right now that Ricochet would have been notably better than Shrapnel, just for fighting bosses. And I think fighting bosses is what I need to be building to. I think Ricochet would have been notably better. Any lifetime damage goes over to the will be added onto your next shot. Oh, that's good. I don't know how this deals with bosses though. That's the thing with Doombolt. I never understand, like, okay, well, how do I deal with a big boss then? How do I feel like I've lowered my damage by taking the increased damage? Oh, that's good. Not me getting hit, obviously, because that's stupid, but no. Okay, well, I mean, we've hit the 2 hour mark, so it's kind of fine that we died there, but I think we did pretty well. We got 3 achievements. I have like 4 left to do, maybe 5. because I still need to beat the 5th boss in Nightmare difficulty on both the maps. But I hope everyone's had a good time. I understand it's not exactly ending in the exactly on it because we started early, but it wouldn't be no point in trying to do another one because it'd be another 20-minute thing. I will see you on Friday, probably at a weird time. We probably won't do story relevant stuff. We'll probably just 100% that area. But yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.